I got the
All right.
notification.
Okay, that's an awkward way to start.
Fuck off. Get started.
But anyway, hello everybody. It is the Dark Conservatarian back with another Strike Force news stream. These streams are getting a little bit sporadic, especially for Sunday afternoons, because my Sunday afternoons keep on getting all booked out. So I have to like play catch up during the week. But yes, we are here. I am here. We are the Dark Conservatarian, and I am here with S-Man Speaks and the Conundrum.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. It's me, the Conundrum. When life gives those conundrums, I'll give you a little bit of delirium with those answers on the side.
I will just tell you all this will be a very degenerate live stream. Just as a warning. This is the only trigger warning you're ever gonna get.
Aren't they normally?
Well, I think this one is especially degenerate. Just from the beginning.
All right. So this is what I named the stream after, is a possible Category 4, or no, the likely Category 4 hurricane that Florida is going to be hit with. Maybe I'll rename this stream something else, but I do have a whole bunch of other articles here. So, Category 4 hurricane hitting Florida. DHS secretary saying we don't have beds to detain 2,500 illegals who are suspected terrorists. That was the interesting part right there of the article, so I thought feature it. Trump's compromise on border wall, as we have not been hearing much about the border wall in recent memory. And Trump said trading with the U.S. is a privilege. Here's what he gets wrong. And top tech companies, okay, pause that. Top tech companies voice conflicting demands for federal privacy law. So, let's get this shit started. Catastrophic Cat 4 hurricane about to hit Florida Panhandle with 145-mile-per-hour winds. That is some fast winds there, bruh. CNSnews.com. Get out now. Governor Rick Scott warned residents in Florida's Panhandle on Tuesday as Hurricane Michael continued to strengthen into a catastrophic storm. The latest update at 7 a.m. Wednesday showed a Category 4 storm with maximum sustained winds of 145 miles per hour and gusts up to 170. It will come ashore later today. No Category 4 storm has ever hit the Florida Panhandle since record keeping began. Okay. That's considerable right there. I kind of felt like one of those weather announcers that you hear on the radio when you get like a weather alert on your radio. When I was reading that segment. Okay, and so Cult of Ham says that hurricane is going to fist Florida. Ew, Rick Scott is still governor of Florida. That was kind of what I was surprised of too. I mean, I thought Rick Scott had left office already.
No, he will leave office. He'll leave office this January. I mean, if you look at their race there, it's going to be close. So he will leave office this January. Don't worry, Ham.
I think after this he'll be blown away.
Yep.
All right. Ha ha ha. Very punny.
Hey, puns are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, motherfucker.
Okay. I almost closed on the chat there. Ham wants to fist Rick Scott. I gotta admit that cracked me up. Okay, so anyway, according to the National Hurricane Center, life-threatening storm surge is likely from Big Bend. I almost said Great Bend. Big Bend and Nature Coast. The worst storm surge is expected between Tyndall Air Force Base and Keaton Beach, where 9 to 13 feet of inundation is possible. Michael is likely to produce catastrophic wind damage as the core moves ashore. Hurricane-force winds will move across portions of the Florida, southern Georgia, and southeast Alabama. Tornadoes are possible.
Why is it when Michael Rollins comes to the United States for MythCon, we get a hurricane named after him?
Oh, fuck. I don't think he's strong enough to be anywhere near as strong as a hurricane. So I'm not really worried about him. But I'll blow Rick.
His stupid words is a Category 5 hurricane.
Oh, yeah, it's a Category 5 hurricane of a whole bunch of cancer. Nobody wants to hear that cancer, Rollins. Get the fuck out of here. So anyway, and by the way, speaking of Michael Rollins, since you mentioned him, I mean, I find it odd that he calls himself Michael. Isn't he like transitioning or something? I'm confused
He
about
claims to be non-binary, which is just as real as creationism.
that.
Well, I'm gonna say this: whatever floats his boat, I'm there.
No woman would ever float his boat.
I'm gonna say this: whatever floats your boat, my friend, that's good for you. Just don't. I'll be nice to you about it, but don't force that option on me because I will look at you and slap you in the face and say, "Get the fuck out of my gym."
Yeah, I mean, disclaimer to everybody: nobody is one to like put any laws preventing Michael from doing XYZ on that. Anyway, heavy rainfall could cause flash flooding from the Florida Panhandle into portions of Georgia. The Carolinas still reeling from Hurricane Florence and Southeast Virginia. There are two other storms in the Atlantic. Hurricane Leslie, with maximum sustained winds of 75 miles per hour, has been meandering out there for more than a week, and it is now moving south-southeast toward Africa. Okay. And newly developed tropical storm Nadine is moving northwest, but its exact track is still uncertain. The 2018 Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. Okay. Michael will be the third Category 4 hurricane to make landfall in the continental United States since President Trump took office. Harvey and Irma devastated Texas and the Caribbean, Florida, respectively, last year, ending a 12-year major hurricane drought in the U.S. More recently, Hurricane Florence came ashore in North Carolina last month as a Category 1, but it produced devastating floods. I mean, that's kind of what I hear, generally speaking, is that the amount of hurricanes has been kind of decreasing with the severe hurricanes has been kind of decreasing within the last decade or something like that. I mean, don't quote me on that. I would actually have to read the paper that is talking about that. Anyway, was just checking Twitter very quickly there. All right, so DHS Secretary, we don't have beds to detain 2,500 illegals who are suspected terrorists. All right. There were two eye-popping revelations today when Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen and FBI Director Christopher Wray discussed national security concerns at a hearing of the Senate Homeland Security Committee. Wray said the FBI is currently investigating 5,000 terrorism cases here and around the world, including 1,000 cases involving homegrown radicals. And Nielsen said there is not enough detention space to lock up around 2,500 illegal aliens who are on the suspected terrorist list.
Then deport them?
Yeah.
I think at some point, if this was legal, which I know this is probably not, and I know this can be taken out of context, but fuck it. I think at some point it should be like what you said about last year on illegal immigration. At some point, just deport them immediately. You know, like to me, I don't want them held in prison beds. You know, like in this case here, I don't want that at all. No, I think in some cases it needs to be an immediate deportation.
I don't know. When I go looking at this, you know what I think should be done? I think that there should be a time limit, like maybe a 3-month or maybe not even that long, 3-week time period to investigate in each individual to see if they are actually terrorists. Well, actually, not even 3 weeks. Now that I think about it, that seems too long. 1 to 3 weeks. I'll put it that way. A 1 to 3 week time limit to investigate each individual illegal alien into whether they're a terrorist or not. And if you cannot find proof that they are not a terrorist, or if they're still suspected to be a terrorist, well then just deport them, because I don't think it's worth the time, effort, and trouble at that point. Just in my opinion. I mean, especially if you illegally immigrated into here.
Yeah, to me it depends on a couple of what it means. You know.
What he's about to say, Conundrum?
My thing is, it says suspect. So that means that they might or might not be. Now you can do this investigation stuff and hold them in that annex. You know what I'm trying to say, in a detainment area. But if it's brought up that they weren't terrorists as it was suspected, I think at least give them some compensation, like help them get a job or something. And
if they're illegal immigrants, or if they're legal immigrants?
Legal immigrants.
Okay. Well, we're talking about specifically the ones who illegally immigrated here. Doesn't mention anything about legal.
I misread the article. I am having no words on this one.
You fucking dyslexic. No, I'm kidding.
I'm old, okay?
Oh my god! The dark conservatarian is ableist.
I am an old man. I do not know this stuff. Back then, we used to watch the Wright brothers fly the airplane on the thimble of corn oil.
Okay. No, apparently I'm an ageist, S-man. Because
You
of how old
ableist ageist dot-con, mocking a dyslexic elderly man. How dare you! You transphobic Nazi, fascist, racist.
Yeah, dark
Bigot.
with your skin tight lesbian coat and your back ass leather pants looking like some type of gimp.
Okay. Sorry, I was checking Discord as well as I was just in a DM. I thought it was important, but anyway. So anyway, Ray told the committee, and by the way, I just want to put out that I don't think that Owen would be the type of person to say, yeah, you're wearing a lesbian pea coat.
You said something about me DMing you, what?
I thought somebody DM'd me.
Oh, I thought you said my name.
No, not you, but just somebody.
Oh, but, okay.
Anyway.
I'll be right back. I gotta take a phone call, but I'll stay in the hangout.
All right. Yeah, but as I was saying, I don't think that Owen would be the type of person to say that this is a lesbian peacoat. He probably would refrain from calling anything lesbian unless it's an actual lesbian woman. I mean, just from my observation. Okay, I'm overthinking it. I'm ruining the joke. So let's move on. My apologies, Conundrum.
Don't worry. I'll go over there with the belt and beat your ass afterwards.
Oh shit. Ray told the joke's on you. I got the stick when I was younger. Anyway, Ray told the committee national security remains the FBI's top priority and counterterrorism is still a paramount concern. He said the FBI, and by the way, I just also want to commentate that if this was actual citizens who were just suspected of terrorism, this would be a different story, a different way of handling it. Or at least I would advocate for a different way of handling it anyways. He said the FBI is not just worried about large-scale attacks by well-known terror groups, but it also watches for homegrown violent extremists who become radicalized online. Yeah, I mean, that's where it gets kind of jaded because you get into like invading people's privacy. I mean, you talk about radicalized online, etc. I mean, if it's on a public forum on a social media platform, then that's a bit of a different story, but yeah. Anyway, right now, but then again, I would not really want the government spying on me constantly, even if I was on public Twitter. Not saying that I'm being radicalized, by the way, NSA, just FYI.
Hey, speaking of which, DarkCon, if the NSA is watching, if y'all could follow my Twitter at SManSpeaks, that'd be fucking awesome.
Brett Kavanaugh, can you do that, please?
Imagine if that actually happened.
Anyway, inside joke. Anyway, right now, as I sit here, we're currently investigating about 5,000 terrorism cases across America and around the world. And about 1,000 of those cases are homegrown violent extremists. And they're in all 50 states. In the last year or so, we've made hundreds of arrests of terrorism suspects. Those include things like the arrest of a guy plotting to attack San Francisco's Fisherman's Wharf on Christmas Day with a combination of vehicles, firearms, and explosives. Or the arrest, Mr. Chairman, of a woman in your home state, a Wisconsin woman maintaining a virtual library of instructions on how to make bombs, biological weapons, and suicide vests to assist self-proclaimed ISIS members.
She's a terrorist, guys. She is an enemy combatant, and she has weapons of mass destruction.
Yes. And I would say that if this woman is connected to ISIS, then I would say that is terrorism.
And if she has plans like to make a bomb, or if she has any material, she would have items to make a weapon of mass destruction.
And I like how this terrorist cell uses the name, just basically spits in the face of the Egyptian goddess Isis and herself.
There was actually a library in Colorado called ISIS that got vandalized, unsurprisingly.
Oh man, I don't know the mythos of the Egyptian goddess Isis, but anyway, the first statement here with the first story that they shown that I have highlighted in blue. I mean, there's no immediate evidence that the person's actions were like politically charged. I mean that's the specific definition of terrorism is violent violence in the name of a political agenda. With this person, if she's allying with ISIS, I would comfortably call it terrorism. But knowing the official definition of terrorism, it's violence, yes, that should be definitely condemned. But I don't know about terrorism. Just that's me arguing about semantics, though. So anyway, Sleepy Projections says A, terrorist, mash destruction. Yeah, mashed potatoes.
Mash destruction. They're going to destroy the sitcom MASH. How dare they?
Con everyone is a Southerner, so if not a Midwestern, no, he's a Southerner.
I know that Sleepy Projections is a Southerner. I saw one of his videos where he was talking about that. Yeah. So anyway, Sleepy Projections, how are you? And by the way, I picked up Sleepy Projections, I think, from a Discord server, an ANCAP Discord server. Yeah.
Yeah, I subscribe to Sleepy Projections, actually.
Ah, cool. So anyway, we've also disrupted a plot to blow up a shopping mall in Miami or to blow up a number of the celebrations of July 4th in Cleveland. He says that he's doing pretty good. That's good to hear, Sleepy. Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen told the same committee there is not enough detention space to hold all the suspected terrorists who are in the country illegally. Which is why that you deport them. Just saying. What were you saying, Conundrum?
I was thanking Sleepy. I said placebo.
Okay.
That's Russian for thank you.
Oh, I see. Ah, okay. I think that's the word. Okay, that makes sense now. I mean, I heard like Anyway, this is like off topic, but you know Bon Jovi, they did like a live performance of Wanted Dead or Alive in Russia, in Moscow, actually, in 1989, I think it was. And he said something at the end of singing it, John Bon Jovi did. And I think it was that word, placebo. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what placebo sounds like? It sounds like a bodily organ.
Sounds like placenta.
No, it sounds like it sounds like placebo.
Placebo?
Yeah, a thing that makes you think you're getting better, like a placebo effect.
Ah, okay. Anyway, getting back on track. We do not have enough detention space for those that we need to hold, who are single adults. She said, yeah, need, quote, unquote. I don't think there is any need to hold them. But anyway. The subject came up when Senator Claire McCaskill, Democrat of Missouri, man, I got my state abbreviations messed up. I think that's Missouri anyways.
M.O.?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, thank you. Or placebo, I mean, placebo.
Placebo.
Yes, placebo, man. Produced some troubling statistics. In 2017, we detained 300 people in this country that were on the suspected terrorist list that were in this country illegally, McCaskill said. But the non-detained jumped to over 2,000. And then as of September, that number of non-detained is over 2,500. Well, then if we don't have the space to detain them, well, then just boot them out of the country or even free up some of the space in our detention spaces with people that have been like in the detention facilities for like months on end, you know, the illegal immigrants. I mean, somebody has got to explain to me how we're advocating for indefinite detention of families. Oh my gosh. You know what this reminds me of? This kind of reminds me of back of that Space Force episode that Sir Khan participated in, you know? It also kind of reminds me of the one comment that Loudmouth made about MS-13. Like, how dare we separate MS-13 gang members from their family? How inhumane!
Yeah.
Anyway. and how we have room for pregnant women and thousands of children, but we are failing to detain those people in this country illegally that we have identified as suspected terrorists. Failing to detain. You imply, I almost see an implication that we should detain them. That, like, she's implying that we should detain them or something. Like, we don't need to. Like, again, just deport them. Anyway. Nielsen responded that there are different types of detention and strict rules governing each type. She noted that the Department of Health and Human Services deals with unaccompanied children. Immigration and Customs Enforcement administers family and residential centers, but single adults cannot be put in these facilities. That's quite understandable. In my opinion, a single adult detention is where they belong. So at the end of the day, what it comes to is just resources. There's different buckets of detention space. Okay, yeah, I'm not being dyslexic. I read that right. Buckets. What were you saying, S-Man?
Yeah, I did not expect to hear that say buckets. I was like, buckets.
Well,
I've never heard someone use that term before. I've heard Mitt Romney say binders full of women. I thought that was fucking strange. Binders full of women.
Yeah.
Mitt Romney's talking about his porn folder again.
Oh shit.
Oh my fucking god.
So that's why he never won election.
Imagine my shock.
Presidential election. But anyway, we need more detention space. We use every last bed that we have, but yes, we need more detention space. Incredulous McCaskill said the most important job the government has is to arrest and deport illegal aliens who are violating our laws and hurting people, and detaining people that are suspected terrorists. McCaskill told Nielsen to report back to the committee on how she intends to detain the 2,500 suspected terrorists as quickly as possible. Okay. I kind of think as far as suspected terrorists go, like, especially if we are only suspecting them to be terrorists and we cannot prove, like, beyond the shadow of a doubt that they are terrorists, that it's none of our business at that point, that it's actually the business of the original country that they came from to deal with the suspected terrorist, quote unquote. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
So anyway, talking about immigration to more immigration, because immigration is like one of the hotbed topics ever since Trump's "they're rapists" speech.
Yeah, we're immigrating from one topic about immigration to another topic of the same thing.
Ha ha ha, punny.
Fuck off. I'm kidding.
What did Tarkon just fuck on?
That was me taking a sip of my water. I guess that's one of the bad things about having this headset is, yeah, I kind of banged on my mouthpiece there.
He was banging his mouthpiece. I am such a douchebag today. I can hear that. I can hear that pretty clearly, Darkon.
Darkon, stop fapping.
Yeah. I'm going to be taking that clip. You know that.
Well, you know, I like to be unintentionally... Well, okay. I guess it's not so unintentional, but I like to be funny.
Yeah,
unintentionally and intentionally.
Yeah, you're fapping into that doctor guy who has a strange...
Oh, fuck you!
with you.
Fuck you.
I think Darkon has some muscle on his arm from doing that, especially when he saw that edited picture of Owen.
Okay, fuck you even harder. Fuck you with the fucking pine cone.
Darkon, stop telling me about your kinks, boy.
No, that's your kink, because you're the one that's going to get fucked with it. Spick man speaks.
Nah, nigga, that ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Darkon, I hate to say this. That sounded so gay.
Gay.
Anyway, Trump's compromise, quote unquote, on border wall by Terrence P. Jeffrey. This from CNS News. Okay, by the way, these first three articles are from CNS. We'll be diving into Washington Examiner right after that. But I say to Congress, I will never sign another bill like this again, said President Donald Trump. I'm not going to do it again.
God, Darkon, you sound like, oh my God, that's an abortion in itself.
And you say you're pro-life. Wow, Darkon. I see how it is.
Trump's accent is an abortion of a New York accent.
All right, I'll do it. But I say to Congress, I will never sign a bill like this again. God, that sounds horrible, more horrible than you, Dark.
That's what I was thinking.
At least I'm self-aware.
Oof.
Hey, I am self-aware that I can be unintentionally funny, and that my peacoat look. I have plenty of self-awareness.
Yeah,
except on my April Fool's video, nigga.
Even though you're not, even though you keep denying that you're a closeted homosexual.
He's a closeted metrosexual.
Oh god. Well, that's okay. This is me being truthful, though. I am not a homosexual. I'm a metrosexual, but I'm not a homosexual.
He has liberal opinions. Because that's
Anyway.
the definition of a metrosexual, is they tend to also have liberal opinions.
Well, if he's a metro, so Dark, you're saying you're a metrosexual, right?
The dark liberal. Oh wait, that sounds really racist.
Wait,
fuck.
Wait, everybody. You say you're a metrosexual, Dark?
He has sex on the subway trains.
I just did, I think. But go
Dark Khan, soy boy confirmed.
Ooh.
The way that I dress, I guess. Sleepy Projection says dark lib. Anyway.
No, he's the dark soy.
No. Okay, that was at a March. By the way, it was Supby. That was at a March 23 press conference after Trump had signed a $1.3 trillion continuing resolution that would fund the government through the remainder of fiscal 2018, which ended this past Sunday. One of the things. Okay, one second. I gotta check something.
Okay. So while Darkon is away, everybody, just so you know,
Donald Trump. He's getting a dick pic by Owen as usual.
Oh, God. So just so y'all know, Donald Trump's a fucking terrible president. I honestly cannot imagine why the fuck people would vote for this guy.
Me too. The guy's a fucking idiot.
Also, Sleepy Projection says, man, that subway looks really fucking hot right now. Well, yeah, I mean, that's where the metrosexuals meet and have their children.
Yeah. They can't go to the Subway restaurant anymore since their idol Jared Fogle got arrested.
Yeah.
God, Trump. Oh my God. I still can't believe this.
Honestly, if the Democrats don't take the Senate and or House back, I'm going to be really disappointed and just pissed off. Like, you know, it'd be fucking awesome if the GOP died and then the Democrats die, because then this shit will stop.
All right, sorry about that. Sorry, where are we at now?
We're just where you left off.
Where was it?
It was
it was that paragraph that I last read, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, one of the things that angered Trump about that $1.3 trillion bill was that it only provided $1.6 billion for work on the border wall he had made one of his signature campaign promises. Trump had been seeking a long-term commitment of $25 billion. Okay, this is kind of the funny thing. People, I mean, especially loyalist Trump supporters, keep on saying he gets stuff done. I trust him because he's a president that knows how to get stuff done. But apparently not, because since he cannot get the funding forward for his border wall, which was like the staple thing in his campaign, you know?
You know, the funny thing is he might end up being the George H.W. Bush in this thing where instead of saying, read my lips, no new taxes, and now it's going to be this whole border thing that he doesn't get done. And I hope that like he loses re-election, because it'd be fucking hilarious. They're like, he didn't build that fucking wall.
Yeah, it's just like the Taj Mahal casino all over again.
you know, it's going to be kind of funny when his challenger goes up to him and say, I mean, for me to like see it from a conservative standpoint, Mr. Trump, and by the way, I don't agree with this policy, but I'm just saying that you promised your constituents a border wall, and yet you did not do that. And that's going to like turn a lot of
well, I think the border. I think the border. Well, I think the border wall is safe space against CNN.
Yeah, and it'd be really funny. What if the GOP runs a second candidate who's like to the right of Trump, which would be like really hard to do. Someone to the right of Trump that is so much more Trump than Trump himself that Trump gets trumped for re-election because the vote is so badly split in the Electoral College.
Oh, Lord, no.
By that sense, he'll grab Trump by the pussy, even though because Trump is nothing more than a big pussy.
Yeah, Donald Trump will be unseated because he was grabbed by the pussy and dragged out of that chair. Ouch.
Okay. Sleepy Projection says Jeb was destined to lead America. Lord, no. I mean, speaking of pussies, by the way, one of the things that kind of bugs me about Jeb Bush is that he was a bit of a pussy on immigration. And plus, I did not support his whole Common Core pushing bullshit. Aside from that,
believe me, I hate Jeb Bush for one thing. He cost Al Gore the election.
Yeah, the whole Florida thing, like that entire campaign that Bush and Kavanaugh and that woman in Florida, the Secretary of State, they all had a hand in it.
Oh yeah, that's voter fraud right there.
Yeah.
The thing I have, I don't know. I mean, as far as between Gore and Bush, I mean, look at what we got with Bush, but with what I generally hear of Gore, not too approving of him either. So maybe I probably would have seen them as pretty much equal evils. I mean, if I was to like I think anyways, if I was to like go ahead and analyze them policy for policy, you know.
I feel like that'd be kind of an interesting thing if because like that's what Mr. Beat did throughout his series on these elections, is he kind of explain these are what these people stood for at the time and whatnot.
Actually, here's the thing. I mean, one thing I have to at least give for Bush is that, well, okay, him and the Congress at the time, they did not renew the 1993 assault weapons ban.
Thank God.
So that's one positive for the Republicans at the time. But that's like one amongst a myriad of cons, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, we're kind of getting off subject. Not happy with $1.6 billion, but it does start the wall, Trump said. What do you mean it does start the wall? You mean you're just getting started? Trump, you're really letting down all of your loyalist supporters, you know?
Oh man,
I think there's a few. I think there's a few that'll be like he'll get it done in his second term. It doesn't get done, and if Mike Pence won the election somehow as president, doesn't get it done. Mike Pence's second term, it just is not going to happen, and they just keep voting Republican.
Oh, good Lord! Yeah, there are just some people that would like to.
Then some Democrat is going to say, "Mr. Trump, tear down this wall."
Oh shit!
The Democratic version of Ronald Reagan.
I mean, that's going to be a massive waste of money.
I mean, the idea of a border wall is a waste of money anyway.
I don't know. I would have to like look at the actual numbers of how much immigration that it would stop. But why do you say that?
I mean, it doesn't address the underlying reason of why people come here illegally. Like, I think that, I'm against illegal immigration. I just want people to. I would like the GOP and conservatives to, like let's find out why these people want to come to America, and let's see if we can like turn them off. Like if they're coming here because their country's a shithole, then I guess if there's a way to get their country not to be a shithole, so they can stay the fuck over there, then I guess that could work. I have no idea.
I'm not following that logic right there.
And the funniest thing is that Mexico built a wall to keep us out.
They built a wall with, wasn't it? I can't remember what country, but they built a wall with another country. I think it was, I don't know if it was Guatemala or something. They built a wall with another country, and now they're bitching that the United States wants them to pay for a wall.
Anyway, like I was trying to say, I don't see that as good reasoning as to why not to secure our borders. Like,
I'm not saying we should secure them. I don't know if a wall entirely is going to do it. They do find tunnels, like
no. I mean, it's not. This is the kind of thing that annoys me with a whole bunch of anti-Trump liberals, is that they be saying it's not going to stop all immigration. Well, yeah, it's not going to stop every single. It's not going to stop the whole problem. It's meant to slow down the problem of illegal immigration. It's meant to like decrease it. Obviously, there are still going to be those that will try to dig deep. And by the way, that's one of the things that I think should be done with the wall, is that it has to be built deep as well as high. Maybe
if we're going to build it, then we got to do it right.
Yeah, maybe even deeper than it is high.
Yeah, but the other thing is, you have to know there are other ways around it with, you know, the old saying, money talks.
Yeah.
Hello, trainer. Just shouting out to him in the chat. Sleepy Projection says, spread anti-America propaganda to Mexico. Yeah. Yeah, that'll definitely get them to not want to come here to the United States. Just lie about our own selves. But ultimately, if we was to spread, I don't know. At least don't make the propaganda so massive that you'll end up having some future leader of Mexico want to declare war on us because of said propaganda.
Debacle at the UN.
What?
Yeah, Nikki Haley resigned. I was actually taken aback by that. You didn't hear about that?
No, I did not.
Honestly. Yeah, she resigned yesterday. She'll be going at the end of the year.
Yesterday. That explains why I did not hear it.
Is that the bear lady?
No, she's like the type of pilf I think every man would agree with.
Website blocked due to hijack. Okay.
What's going on?
My anti-malware program warning. It gave me a warning. I'm going to try to speed this up so that I don't have to like keep these articles up so high. I'm so fucking glad that I got malware bites. I'm waiting for my laptop to update. That's cool, trainer. Okay, so anyway, we've been going on too long about that, and we will make that $1.6 billion go very, very far.
Bigly.
Yeah, bigly. Flash forward 6 months to September 15. Now Trump expressed his dismay in a tweet, not a press conference. When will Republican leadership learn that they are being played like a fiddle by the Democrats on border security and building the wall, Trump said. I can honestly highly sympathize with that statement right there. I mean, from what I have been observing during the Obama years, they've just been frilly. I mean, a portion of them anyways. It's just been spineless on the whole issue of amnesty and so forth. Not very hard-hitting on issues like that, and Obamacare and so forth. Without borders, we don't have a country, he said. With open borders, which the Democrats want, we have nothing but crime. Finish the wall, he declared. What inspired this presidential declaration? A House Senate Conference Committee had just finalized another massive spending bill. They called this one a combined minibus and continuing resolution. Unlike the omnibus Trump had signed in March, this minibus continuing resolution did not fund the entire government in one bill. The minibus part of it, however, did marry the spending bill for the Department of Defense to the spending bill for the Departments of Labor, Education, and Health and Human Services. It would fund those departments through all of fiscal 2019. The continuing resolution part of it would fund only until December 7th. And according to the House Appropriations Committee, only at current levels. Any other federal departments that did not have their own appropriations bills signed into law by Sunday when fiscal 2018 ended. Okay. In other words, those departments would be funded until 1 month after the upcoming midterm elections. The Department of Homeland Security, which is responsible for the border wall, was one of these. Anyway, hello, Red Feather. How you doing? And it's good old Red Feather. You know what? I like Red Feather, honestly. I mean, she seems to be one of the more loyal fans to when it comes to my political streams. Oh, yeah. Also, she loves to just add her 2 cents in the chat, which even I would say that I don't do enough myself when it comes to listening to chats. Yeah. But
subscribe to Red Feather. I subscribe to her, and she does pretty good content.
Yeah. Anyway, During the year, the House Appropriations Committee, you hear that, Red Feather? You're one of the channel's favorite subscribers. She asks how am I? I'm pretty good, Red Feather, honestly. Hungry. Gonna get dinner after this, but good. During the year, the House Appropriations Committee had approved a Homeland Security bill that provided $5 billion for the wall for fiscal 2019. The Senate committee had approved only $1.6 billion, making no increase from the 2018 level, and the massive minibus continuing resolution would presumably maintain fiscal 2018's funding level, but only through December 7. 3 days after Trump's tweet, the Senate approved this bill 93-7. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat, New York, joined Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican in Kentucky, in supporting it. On September 20th, Trump tweeted about the bill again. This time, he put some of his words in capital letters.
Ooh, Trump is a little angry, y'all.
Oh, man. He just looks like one of those spastic internet trolls when he puts it all, a lot of words in all caps. I mean, I put some words in all caps mostly to just make sure that some words are highlighted, you know, to like put emphasis on single words. But this guy, he'll put like he'll capitalize whole entire sentences or even paragraphs sometimes. Just looks immature.
I just think it's his daughter runs his Twitter.
So she's on she's on the rag 24/7. That might explain a few things.
Red Feather says she has one song, but thanks. And yay, I'm a fave. Yes, Red Feather. The moral of the story. Okay, Sleepy Projection says the moral of the story is the Democrats and Republicans are shit.
Yeah.
Damn right, motherfucker. I don't know if that sounded as good as when you do it because I was like holding the mic up to my lips.
All right, here's how you do it, y'all. Damn right, motherfucker.
Damn right, motherfucker.
Yeah,
that sounded too black. Wait, that sounds really racist. God damn it.
Hey! You gotta give Conundrum some props for it. I mean, he comes from experience being married to a black person, anyways. Oh, I'm just busting your balls.
Hawk's pissed at me now. He's gonna get really salty in my chat.
Pissed at you? Why?
A what?
Pissed at you? Why?
Because I posted a screen cap of the 270 to win map, and he's not liking it.
Okay. I thought you were saying that he was like pulling some guilt by association bullcrap with S-Man. Why are you hanging out with a shitty hack like DarkCon, a racist, transphobic, misogynistic, homophobic, fascist like DarkCon? How dare you? I will forever unfriend you, and I shall hawk around you like a fucking vulture. I'm gonna rename myself Secular Vulture just in your honor, S-Man. Anyway. I went on too long about that, didn't I?
No. I mean, it was warranted.
Anyway, well, actually, that's more of a parody to Owen than anything else because he likes to play the guilt by association fallacy a lot. Anyway, I want to know where's the money for border security and the wall? He puts in all caps. In this ridiculous spending bill, he said, and where will it come from after the midterms? Dems are obstructing law enforcement and border security. Republicans must finally get tough. Okay. So anyway, Red Feather puts out a hashtag, damn right, motherfucker, and says secular vulture, LOL. 6 days after this tweet, the Republican leadership brought their minibus continuing resolution up for a vote in the House. It passed with 185 Democrats voting for it, but only 176 Republicans. Okay, so I guess those few Republicans who did not vote for it are some of the more Trump kind of Republicans when it comes to immigration. They're more Trump. They're more towards Trump than McConnell when it comes to immigration. Those Republicans who did not vote for it. Anyway. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, Democrat of California, joined House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, Republican of California, in voting for it, while 56 House conservatives voted against it. Funding for the border wall was not the only significant issue in this bill. The original Labor HHS education spending bill after the House Appropriations Committee approved in July included language that defunded both Planned Parenthood and research that uses tissue taken from babies killed in induced abortions. Wait.
Ooh.
From babies killed in induced abortions. Yeah. But that language was not included in the final minibus continuing resolution that funded HHS for all of fiscal 2019. So, okay. I mean, I don't want to bring up the whole hashtag defund Planned Parenthood controversy. You know how there were some people like they were having recorded interviews with Planned Parenthood officials, S-Man? Do you remember that?
Recorded? Weren't those recordings of those officials taken like way the fuck out of context?
People keep on saying, "Oh, they're edited, so therefore they're uncredible." But the thing is, the second clip, that Mary Gatter. I mean, here's my opinion on the whole circumstance. Either Mary Gatter is the biggest idiot in the entire organization, or Planned Parenthood really is making some money off of aborted fetus parts. Because she said it herself, was admitting to heckling, or, well, not heckling, haggling over the price of fetal parts. But yeah. I mean, it's essentially negotiating with the people who were, like, pretending to be these people who were interested in doing business with Planned Parenthood, you know. But, I mean, I have never heard anyone explain that statement from Mary Gatter. Anyway. But, also, since we're on the issue of abortion, I don't think I've ever heard you officially speak an opinion on Planned Parenthood, like defund or keep funded, S-Man.
I've been doing some reading on that before I make an opinion, but when I make that video, I'm pretty sure you'll be one of the first people to comment first, and then you'll edit the comment being like, okay, and here's what I gotta say about this video, and then it's like a long ass paragraph, and then you'll publish it as an op-ed.
Here's my thing on Planned Parenthood: keep it.
My thing on Planned Parenthood is defund it. I mean, I do not know the specifics of the other services that they do, and of what other organizations provide the non-abortion related services. But if there are those organizations out there, well, then I say, yeah, definitely defund it, because I'll
be honest with Planned Parenthood, because I learned from Planned Parenthood. They also teach you, if you are pregnant, they give you child parenting classes. They help you if you are sexually active, get you free condoms. They give you.
I would rather that be in the official curriculum of public school.
Yes. Abstinence only does not work.
Yeah, but also they have STD tests that you feel comfortable with it.
Okay, I'm confused about the whole abstinence doesn't work saying, like.
All right, let me put it this way.
Somebody define to me abstinence, because I'm confused.
People generally say just don't have sex. Like generally they'll at least how it works in my state, they will say, the best way to avoid getting an STD or pregnant is if you don't have sex. However, if you're going to do it, for fuck's sake, use a condom or some form of birth control. They'll tell you like places you could go and get it.
Yeah, Planned Parenthood is one of them, that you can get free birth control, free condoms, other things. It helps. It has counseling for parents who know. It does a lot of good.
So you're saying I want to address S-Man first. So you're saying that the curriculum that says avoid sex entirely doesn't work?
Yeah, people are not going to actually do that.
Side note, I don't really have much of a problem with them just I don't know. I guess teaching, giving directions on where that they can find some certain resources. There's something else that Conundrum said. Oh, I still say that whatever educational services that Planned Parenthood provides. I mean, I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. I would rather that if the public school taught that than anything. I mean, if these types of sexual related education has to be provided, I would rather it not be okay. I would rather it not be provided by an organization that provides abortions with our own taxpayer money. Well, the money doesn't directly go into the abortion side note, but anyways. You guys just want to say something?
Oh no, I don't have anything to add there on that note.
Thing is, I feel like also Planned Parenthood also do charity fundraisers also.
Well, then they can do those fundraisers to get their own funding.
Yeah.
For all I care.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've explained my position on Planned Parenthood before. Damn, there's a lot of stuff that Red Feather said. What is a non-induced abortion? I do not know. I mean, it's kind of some jaded language. I got to admit, Red Feather. Oh, damn. S-Man and I were supposed to have a discussion about Planned Parenthood. Defund or at least hold to more scrutiny, she says. They are technically breaking laws in some places. Hey, what's up, JJ? They are technically breaking laws in some places. A family planning facility and an abortion clinics are not supposed to be housed in the same building. Okay, it worked for Mother Mary. wait. Mother Mary. What are you talking about? Are you talking about like Jesus's mother? I don't know. Anyway, you can also get. I'm just again caught up on the chat with Red Feather. She added a lot. She also says you can also get them from state-run facilities. Planned Parenthood not needed. All right then. At the Dark Conservatarian, my question is: how does Planned Parenthood make a profit and are also state-funded? Abstinence. Okay. Never mind. So anyway, I'm just gonna continue on. Before we get too dragged out, I cannot remember which was that was the paragraph that I last read. Okay, thus the bill did not provide the funding Trump was seeking for the border wall, but it did provide the funding Democrats wanted for Planned Parenthood and aborted baby parts research. On Friday, Trump signed into law this bill he had correctly called ridiculous. The spending package deflects the compromise Republican leaders sought with the White House that postpones a fight over Trump's demand for a border wall until after the November 6 midterm elections. The Washington
I'm so
Post
pumped for the
reported
midterms. I'm pretty excited for him.
that day. If the Democrats win control of the House in November, Trump will have lost any chance he had of building the border wall he promised his supporters. If the Republicans hold the House and the Senate, Trump will need to decide whether he is going to follow them on border security or they are going to follow him. Terrence P. Jeffrey is editor-in-chief of CNS News. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, I was reading that message that S-Man said. He says that he has work to do. See you later, S-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Abstinence worked for Mother Mary is what Red Feather meant. Oh, I get the joke more now with more context.
Oh, I get what he said now.
You're misgendering her. Ree! Was that supposed to be the Stitch version of reeing? Autistic screeching? Anyway, getting on to our last two articles, and let's make this snappy as well because I want to get dinner and do other stuff. Trump said trading with the U.S. is a privilege. Here's what he gets wrong. Okay. I mean, to put out my position, lol, no womans on the internet, says Red Feather. So here's what I have to say about free trade. My thought is that I am, well, obviously for it. Trading with the U.S. is a privilege. Okay, I would reword it with that. trading with the U.S., I disagree with that because, okay, I don't know. Oh, man, my head hurts, honestly, with the way that Trump framed that statement. Anyway, let's get on before. Yeah, inarticulate. On Monday, President Trump called trade a privilege. Here's what Trump gets wrong. Okay, trade is not a privilege. It is a right under private property rights. I mean, unless you're a freaking socialist that completely does not believe in private property rights, but that's a different story. In his press conference on the long-awaited agreement on the USMCA trade deal that replaces the North Atlantic Free Trade Agreement, Trump told the audience, it's a privilege for them to do business with us. And I'm not talking about Mexico. I'm talking about everybody. Everybody. It's a privilege for China to do business with us. It's a privilege for the European Union, who has treated us very badly, but that's coming along to do business with us. Japan, every country. It's a privilege for them to come in and attack the piggy bank. Here's the thing, though, Trump. You cannot be dictating on what private corporations can or cannot do with who they want to trade with. That's pretty anti-free market of you and anti-private property rights.
Very communist.
Yes, very communist. The dark libertarian reaper is going to go soul hunting now.
Stop with the cringe.
Oh, yes. Dark Khan, your cringe factor is over 9,000, my friend.
I'm going to be reading the rest of the articles in this voice.
All right. You sound like you're doing your best Christian Bale Batman attempt.
But it's very gay.
Where are the other drugs going? Swear to me!
Sorry, everybody. Zach is long gone. He drank too many beers.
Do I look like a cop to you? No. Do I look like a drunkard to you?
Actually, yes, you kind of do.
I guess so. The premise behind this characteristically the premise behind this characteristically rambling statement is that Americans buying things from other countries is bad for America and is instead a favor to the seller countries. Profits that flow to foreign countries constitute an attack on the piggy bank of the U.S. economy. There's a lot of problems to that approach. For one thing, trade is beneficial to all involved. At its most basic, trade is one person or entity exchanging something with another for something that is of higher value to them. Well, 1 second here. Excuse me. I had to sneeze there. Okay. I was gonna say Christian Bale Batman too. Yeah, screw you, Red Feather.
A gay Christian Bale. Ah.
Yeah, Christian Bale already did sounded gay. What are you talking about?
An even gayer Christian Bale then.
Oh, sure. Not as gay as your high-pitched boyish accent.
Hey, at least I can do a better evil laugh than you.
Better what?
Evil laugh.
Oh, evil laugh. Okay. Touche. For one thing, trade is beneficial to all. Okay, I already read that part. That means that both parties involved come away with something more valuable than when they started. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given up what they had for what the other person had. The more of this that happens, the better off everyone is as more people get more things they want. But this person sounds like a libertarian, the person who wrote this article. Just saying. Going off by the language of the spelling. That sounds impossibly simple, and it is. But that's also what Trump gets wrong when he says that trade is a privilege. By definition, trade is not a one-sided activity. An exchange only happens if both parties agree. Are you taking notes, Owen McDonald?
Get wrecked.
Okay. Trump also talks about the trade deficit as if U.S. is being ripped off. A trade deficit, spending more on imports than exports, however, is not a loss. Americans have money and spend it, exchanging currency for the items that they want. This makes sense. America is a wealthy country, so its citizens have more money to spend. So, of course, they would spend more than their less wealthy counterparts in other countries.
See.
Crusader says, Zach is gay confirmed. Bitch, I already made that video. And
Then
when
you're a white supremacist.
what?
Then you're a white supremacist.
Oh yeah. No, it was us men who made that video. Zach Edwards is a white supremacist confirmed. And when the economies of other countries, yes, even China, grow, then their citizens have more money to spend and purchase more U.S. goods and services. That's good for both countries. Actually, adding money to the economy, piggy bank, not robbing it. In short, trade is not some privilege to be withheld, but a net good for everyone. Individuals, countries, and yes, the United States. Finally, by casting trade as a privilege, quote unquote, Trump calls into question a fundamental understanding of freedom. Preach. Preach. If Americans are not free to spend their money how they would like, including on foreign goods, not only is that damaging to the economy, but it also limits freedom of choice. Preach. When Trump says that other countries trading with the U.S. is a privilege, he seems to forget that that also implies that Americans trading with those countries must then also be a privilege.
Preach!
Yes. To be fair, there are circumstances when the government might be justified in limiting trade, especially for specific items with a foreign power. One example would be things like materials used in producing nuclear weapons. That's understandable, but still. I mean, the ANCAPs would get on this paragraph right here. McNukes for the win. Or when sanctions are imposed against the government for specific actions. Like, for example, developing weapons of mass destruction, trying to get, like Iran tried to do. Those instances, however, must be the exceptions, not the default approach, as Trump is adding, and I just added that part in myself. Anyway, that was a pretty good article, I would say. You guys have any comments to make on that or anything like that?
No.
Damn it! Why did Crusader leave?
I don't know. Probably he's doing some of his work. You know, fapping it to his anime girls.
Wait,
Fapping
what?
it to Frozen Binary Studio.
Shut the fuck up. I am not gay. Zach is the one that is gay.
Only in humor. Anyway.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah.
So why is everyone who has made these deals with Trump happy or at least optimistic about it? If it's so bad, asks Redfeather. As everyone who has made. I'm not so sure what deals you're talking about, Redfeather. You want to elaborate?
I think
Okay.
she's talking about the trades.
So why is everyone who has made these deals or at least optimistic about it?
Welcome back, Sleepy Projections.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I think she says she is referring to the trade deals. Why is everyone who has made these deals with Trump happy or at least optimistic about it? I don't know of what people are happy about it. I don't know. I think I'm thinking that statement a little bit too hard. Anyway.
Yeah, don't take it too hard. Don't be like Secular Hawk who takes it like his dick.
Or like Josselman does to a joke. Josh, you have so many sock accounts that you beat your dick into.
I know, that was fucking hilarious.
He's literally a dumbass.
Yes. Anyway, last article for the night, and then I'm getting dinner. Top tech companies voice conflicting demands for federal privacy law.
He's gonna jerk off as well.
While okay, pause that. Pause. While top U.S. businesses are pressuring Congress to advance a federal privacy bill, a Senate hearing on Wednesday highlighted the difficulty that lawmakers will face in crafting such a measure. Representatives from Google, Twitter, Amazon, Charter Communications, and AT&T agreed on a few basic requirements for the legislation, namely that it should be less prescriptive than the European privacy law that went into effect earlier this year and preempt the California law slated to go into effect in 2020, as well as any similar laws that other states may choose to enact. Okay, here's the thing. It's talking about how the European Union restricted the uses of memes and like revised its own copyright law. When I read this article, I was not thinking anything near to copyright law, so I do not know where some people are getting that out of their ass. Anyway, the bill, the executive said, should also contain a legal definition for what constitutes personal identifying information. Create consistent requirements across businesses of all sizes and types. Ensure that consumers are in control of their own data and that the Federal Trade Commission is in charge of enforcing the measure. Support for specifics beyond those broad contours, however, becomes murkier, and the tepid backing for some proposals is indicative of the challenges in winning broad support. One key question that lawmakers must answer is how to define personal identifiable information. Google views it as any data that directly... Okay. Red Feather says, LOL, like the president of Mexico and Gay Wad Trudeau, for example. Okay. Google views it as any data that directly identifies an individual user. Chief Privacy Officer Keith Enright told the panel, that would exclude information like browser or purchase history or other information that companies like Google use to customize advertisements to a specific individual. Opinions are sure to split around whether to extend the definition to include such data as the European law did. Executives at the hearing were also asked whether they would support an opt-in requirement for data sharing, which would force companies to obtain consent before using any personally identifiable information to cater offerings to consumers. Actually, now that I think about it, I support this measure right here because I don't know the specifics from like professional sources, but what my friend tells me, a friend of mine from work tells me, and he was like a former hacker. He says that the way that Facebook makes their money is that they sell certain data from their users, from the Facebook users, to big-time corporations to like cater specific ads to specific people, is what I guess. I mean, that's my layman's explanation of it. It may be a whole lot more complicated than that, but anyway, moving on. And by the way, I gotta re-emphasize, if you guys have anything that you want to add, just jump in. Anyway. Executives at the hearing were also asked whether they would support an opt-in. Wait, I already read that. Rachel Welch, senior vice president at Charter Communications, said such an approach is the best way to empower consumers. But representatives from Google, Apple, Twitter, and AT&T were less enthusiastic. Opt-in, we think, is very appropriate in many circumstances, but maybe not all, said Bud Tribble, vice president for software technology at Apple. Apple. I said it. I pronounced it kind of weirdly.
Apple.
Apple. Apple. Oh,
You're
I sounded like Arnold right there. Apple.
Abu.
You sound gay.
La 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 la.
Oh, you saying that I sound gay, JJ?
Yes, you actually do.
JJ, you better take that comment back, or else I will terminate you.
That's bad. That's a very, very bad interpretation of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Impersonation.
Yee.
I'll be back.
Zach, I will tell S-Man to clip this and make everyone laugh at you.
I don't care. I don't care in that area. There's some risk of going overboard here. Google's Enbright said an opt-in requirement could really impair the usability of services that his company offers and disincentivize.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm sorry. That yawn was forced right out of me.
Yeah.
Disincentive users from engaging. Even in areas where there is broad agreement, the officials were hesitant to give a full-throated endorsement. While they all said the FTC should remain the regulatory body in charge of enforcing any new privacy law, none of the 5 panelists were able to say whether the it. I think that's a typo there.
Vit.
Whether Vit should be given enhanced rulemaking authority. Sleepy Projection says poor JJ. I don't know why he's saying poor JJ. Anyway.
Wait, huh?
I don't know. Red Feather, get your mind out of the gutter. She says, quote unquote, full throated with a bunch of laughing faces.
Full throated. Oh.
Oh shit.
Zach likes getting full throated.
Yeah, so do you by Frozen.
Well, you by Blair White. So,
Yeah, sure.
he had to sit through terrible impersonations. That's why he says poor JJ.
Oh. Fuck you, Sleepy. Fuck you. Maybe I should try to do Sylvester Stallone.
Don't. You'll just make me hurt even worse.
Adrian!
You sound like you just came.
Hey, yo, Adrian. Adrian, I did it!
You sound like a retard. Hey, my name's Joe Bush.
Most of the people down in this area where Rocky's from, they'll probably put me in a ring and start beating me with boxing gloves.
Adrian, I shit my pants.
What the fuck? You sound like a retard. You sound like a retarded cross between Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger there.
Well, that's what I was going for.
Okay, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's Arnie. It's Arnold's and Sylvester's retarded love child. It's okay. Anyway, I do not know why the
reference.
What?
When people try to say Arnold Schwarzenegger, sometimes they just say it to say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, that's the thing. I mean, it's a person you can't help but be on edge whenever you say the name Arnold Schwarzenegger, because it'll sound like that you're calling somebody a nigger.
Yep.
Anyway, we are always worried about unfettered discretion in an agency. Andrew DeVore, Vice President and Associate General Counsel at Amazon, told the panel. Any privacy framework from Congress is months away, if not longer. The outcome of the 2018 midterm elections in November will help shape the agenda for the next 2 years, and any discussion on privacy legislation could change dramatically if Democrats win the House, the Senate, or both. The Trump administration can move forward unilaterally and is doing so as it solicits comments from stakeholders on a privacy proposal, but would be limited in creating a mandatory policy. Previous voluntary frameworks, like former President Barack Obama's Consumer Privacy Bill of Rights, faced stiff opposition, and the panelists at Wednesday's hearing all agreed that any new regulations must be mandatory and apply consistently to all businesses, regardless of size or industry. But when Senator Richard Blumenthal pressed the panelists on why Congress should not adopt the basic principles that are consistent across both the California law, which several of the companies oppose, and the European law, no one weighed in. I think that question lingers here. It will linger after this hearing. Get out of my face, Mr. Dapperton. No one weighed in. I think that question lingers here. It will linger after this hearing, the Connecticut Democrat said. I really hope that you will be at the table sincerely, seeking to frame answers that protect American consumers. And that's the end of the article reading. So, anyway.
And Red Feather says, like, you can't say judicial system without sounding drunk. That's a judicial system.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm beat right now.
Once again, goddamn it.
The dark conservatarian needs to take his rest.
The dark conservatarian needs to quit being gay.
Anyway, so, okay, yeah.
Zach, your fucking camera's so bad.
The camera is so bad.
Yeah, it's like very choppy. It's bad. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. I just noticed that myself.
Weird.
I think it's been better before, so I don't know. Maybe I need to like get a new camera.
Being gay is tiring, yo. Yeah, red feather.
Well, wearing this gay ass pea coat, it does make me kind of
Well, I
sleepy
mean,
with
you are a
how warm it is.
metrosexual, so.
Yes. And by the way, did both of you guys watch my response video to Superwoman and No Bullshit?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, it was.
I tried to make it as entertaining as possible, and there was the one line. Okay.
He stole it from a homeless dude at the library.
Sleepy Projections asks, how do you put up with wearing that suit through the stream? Well, the temperature is colder right now, so that makes it more tolerable. I mean, if I was in the heat of summer, I would be just wearing the blue polo shirt here that's underneath it and not with the pea coat. But it's part of my attire, Sleepy Projections, and besides, it's my fucking show. I can do what I want.
And also, apparently, he stole it from a homeless dude at the library.
Okay, that's fucking bullshit. I mean, if you're gonna talk shit, at least be accurate. Because this suit is too classy and too clean to be from a homeless dude.
No,
Just saying.
I've seen some homeless dudes wearing pea coats.
Like pea coats that are as clean as this and
No, but you probably had to clean up all the dandruff and vomit.
me?
Yes.
Yeah. And what about the semen, JJ?
How do you get semen on there whenever you're supposed to take it off?
I thought when you were saying dandruff and vomit, I thought you was trying to make a sex joke.
Are you
Me
serious,
and
Zach?
Blair
I
White again.
I am too classy for that.
Yeah, right. We all are not classy enough to avoid the sex jokes.
Yeah, you read. But I was talking about dandruff because some people do have dandruff, me included. Sucks ass.
I see. But anyway, yes. So I don't think I have anything more to say in the news. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, there was some that I wanted to say. Like, the one comment that I made in that response video to No Bullshit and Superwoman. Where I was like, she says, "Is it because they dress better than you?" And then I'm all like, "Well, I have been told that I look like I stole from my coat from a lesbian, and I've been called a metrosexual before." Conundrum.
Will Zach is metrosexual. It's confirmed actually.
But the reason why I made that is because Superwoman, are you calling me fashionable? Why, thank you.
Yeah, Red Feather says Head and Shoulders, man. Yeah, I've tried it. It doesn't work too great for me.
That's the only brand of shampoo that I use, actually.
I mean, I'm not able to get it all the times because sometimes I get brought other shampoos. So I can't use it all the time.
Also, did you guys see my most recent upload, the one talking about Brett Kavanaugh?
Yeah, and you are 100% right with that.
Thank you. Anyways, I mean, it's something that's been kind of bugging me. I wish I could have got it out before his confirmation. I mean, I think it would have went a little bit more, would have attracted a few more views, but it did pretty modestly. It's one of the more successful Strike Force editorials.
I mean, still got more views than my videos do.
Yeah, I mean,
which is pretty sad, actually.
And JJ, if you want to do any more political rants that you want me to mirror, like ask me in Discord DMs or something, or if you want to like do an article reading, if you want to like contribute to Strike Force, do like a Strike Force editorial, where I upload you reading an article alone with some gameplay footage in the background too, by the way.
I don't mind.
Then go ahead and contact me.
All right.
Conundrum, what was you saying?
I don't mind do that.
Although you'd have to extract the audio from my stream sort of things because that's the only way I'm able to upload.
Right. Oh, I see what you're talking. Well, it's not the only way. It's just the quickest way that you want to do it.
It really is the only way because I can't. My phone is. I can't
phone is
upload
what?
on my
Hold on,
PC.
I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom.
Yeah, I cracked the screen pretty
We're
bad.
probably going to be like ending pretty soon, but be back soon. Actually, I'm going to wait for him to get back just so that we can talk again. But you know what? A lot of this stuff, I still have to watch that one, says Red Feather. Yeah, do it, Red Feather. I mean, because the NSA spying thing was a real kicker disappointment as far as Kavanaugh goes. Anyway, a lot of this stuff can actually be said off air, so I think I might end the stream right here. Anyway, so to all the people living in Florida, heads up and take shelter. And me and
Don't do anything
JJ,
stupid.
yes, and me and JJ will, as Christians, pray for your safety and whatever assistance you need.
Oh man, I'm back.
Oh man, that was the quickest piss break ever. But anyway, you two say your farewells.
You go ahead first, Conundrum.
Well, it's time to say goodbye to all our departed company. We have JJ over here, my favorite, my little brony.
Shut the fuck up.
We have the dark conservatarian who can never who is so fashionably talented he cannot match me in fashion and hairstyles.
Wait a minute, fashionably what?
Fashionably challenged.
I am not fashionably challenged. Okay.
And
Sorry,
you,
go on.
and you have me, the conundrum. Saying tune in a little bit later for my stream. We're going to be talking about a running epidemic called Yu-Gi-Oh gangs in my area. Watch out, they'll pop a trading card in your ass. So this is the conundrum saying when life gives you those conundrums, I'll give you the answers with a little side of delirium as well.
JJ?
All right, I guess I'll do my outro. So this is the Crusader signing out. If you enjoyed the stream on Strikeforce, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the Dark Conservatarians channel. So see you guys and continue the crusade while we're gone.
Yeah, help me get to 300. I am so fucking close to hitting 300 right now. It's crazy. Anyway, so to all the people in Florida, stay safe. God bless. We'll be praying for you, and whatever recovery you need, we will support you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep.
This is the Dark Conservatarian. This has been Strikeforce News, and don't know if I'll do one Sunday afternoon, but I will see what we will do. Anyway, so this is the Dark Conservatarian signing out. See y'all later. God bless.